Okay, gonna just get right into it here. The title is true. Cyrax has been engaging in some very deviant and degenerate sexual activity. How has this come to my attention? Well, Tyler and Y was doing his weekly hackings, and he discovered in Chance's inbox a message exchange between him and somebody named Martina666, who I can assure you is not me. I don't know if they want responsibility for this. I can understand why they probably wouldn't, but nevertheless, it seems that this person, this woman, has a dark, deep sexual desire to eat out Chance's asshole.
That's a fucking lie, you dumb hooker.
Welcome back to the Cyrax Deep Dive series here on the Swamp Dweller Live channel. It's great to see you back for another episode. I know, it's been a couple of days since I uploaded a video, but never worry. If you're a member, you can go back and watch the recent live stream we just did, doing a bunch of research on King Cobra, Cyrax, and of course, Daniel Larson. And I'll be hitting you soon with a bunch of new videos. Without further ado, let's get right into Cyrax and his Snickers activity.
And to eat the candy out of his asshole. The shit out of his asshole. She wanted him to spread open so she could eat the Snickers out of there. Tyler and Y. This is why he's getting a full ride, a full scholarship to hacking school. Wait, isn't Cyrax dating Tangerine Cat? Well, that's what I thought. I don't know if they have an open relationship. Oh, wow. Melton John. Yeah, well, perhaps. But I know you're very opposed to Cyrax nudity, so I'm going to ask you to shield your eyes. I'm going to show you a text exchange between the two of them.
Fuck Cyrax.
Yes, this is indeed the "Hey Tyler" that went famous with Cyrax screaming his name all the time back in the day. R.I.P. musical business Bartholomew. It's definitely a bittersweet thing going through old Marty content, but luckily he has it archived in quite a few places for us, so we'll be able to bring you some of this classic, degenerate Cyrax activity for you. I know a lot of people have seemingly forgot why we make fun of people like Cyrax on the internet, and trust me, they are no saints, and they're definitely not innocent. So let's get back into this depravity.
Absent the picture, just the text exchange between the two of them, and then I'm going to link an Instagram page with the picture of Cyrax spread open for this woman to eat Snickers out of his asshole. Oh my god, reading it again, it just shows how depraved it is. All right, let me zoom up here. Show me a picture of your asshole, baby. I want to lick some candy out of there. Now, this is the picture of Cyrax's ass at full exposure. And then he wants to see her asshole. He wants to see the asshole that he'll be pounding the shit out of tonight. And you can see her comment here. Tongues your ass, looking for the Snickers. So let me now pull up this picture here and post in the chat for all to see. Here we go. Okay, and here we will have his picture of his Snickers dinner plate. Now take a look at this. It's not for the faint of heart. What fresh hell is this? Well, I'll tell you.
Now, for those who are not aware, which it's very hard not to be, but since there is such a multitude of instances where Cyrax is an actual sexual deviant on all levels beyond just having a kink, we're not here to kink shame, make fun of anything else other than this is Cyrax doing what Cyrax does best, and that's being an actual deplorable, degenerate, disgusting goblin, trying to get his Snickers eaten out by a transgender woman. Absolutely sad stuff here. Nothing against anybody else in this situation. This is about Cyrax and nobody but Cyrax. Now, the only reason why we're giving Cyrax a real hard time about this is because he was supposed to be dating Taylor at the time, if you remember, his rig pig. So this is not only deplorable in the sense that it's disgusting to read, but it's also deplorable because he's cheating on his girlfriend he loves so much, the family he was helping raise allegedly.
Cyrax wants Martina eat the candy out of his asshole, to lick the shit out of his asshole. You're telling me, Ace Baz, you're telling me this is some sick stuff. If you want to see the picture, you got to get in the Discord. That is also where we're giving away Cyrax's new album for free. So anyone who wants to see his asshole for free will also have the opportunity to download his new album So I mean, it's an exciting 2-for-1 right there. I'm gonna lure you in with the asshole pictures, and then I'm gonna give you Cyrax's album for free. So it's just a double whammy right here. To me, the thought of subjecting a woman to eating the shit out of your ass. The disgusting thing is he's talking about the Snickers. So there's a little bit of nut in there too, and it's just a terrible image, and it's just so graphic and disgusting.
I'll never understand Cyrax's hatred towards Marty. He not only was promoting his images here, his OnlyFans if you will, but he was pushing his album to people that would have never have checked it out otherwise. So Cyraxx, I think you really need to show some appreciation and make a nice memorial show for Marty. It's what he deserves. Now, like I said, I'm not here to kink shame. If you like to eat Snicker bars out of people's booty holes, do your thing in the privacy of your own home. But if you're ever doing that with somebody like Cyraxx, then I'm gonna have to throw a couple caution flags out there and definitely let this be known. It doesn't matter what you are in life, don't mess with the PDF goblin, or you will surely have all of your business blasted all over YouTube.
How are you tonight?
Not bad, Bruce. What's going on?
Well, Cyraxx wanted a woman to tongue the shit
Bro,
out.
you know that's not a woman, though. You know that's not a woman.
I don't know that it's not a woman.
So basically, somebody hit him up and catfished him and said, "Hey, I like to eat ass," and then he sent a picture of an ass.
Well, here's what you're not understanding: is that Cyraxx is a rock star. He attracts multiple women of alternative
You're
lifestyle.
being sarcastic. You're being
I'm
sarcastic.
straight up with you. I'm being straight up
No,
with you.
you're being sarcastic. You're being sarcastic.
Listen, I think, okay, how can I help you? An exchange was presented to me. To be honest, looking at this picture, it doesn't necessarily seem to even be a woman. It kind of looks like a transgendered person. So I think that point falls flat right there. It could be a man. I think it is a man upon further examination. I think you're right. So what is your objection tonight?
Somebody out there sends him a picture and says, "Oh, I'm a girl. I love you. I'm into butt stuff." So that they send him pictures and say, "Oh, I'm this girl. I look like this," and say, "I'm into butt stuff."
Let me get a closer up picture of this person. I would agree. This could just be a deranged transgendered person, to be honest. Let me get a
right. You
closer up
don't know
image.
this person knows, so you're speaking
Well,
on
you're
things
right. You're right. I don't know this
right?
person at all, but I do know
Exactly.
that apparently Cyraxx wants them to tongue the Snickers out of his asshole.
So as we're seeing here, this person allegedly covers Charlie Z, who's another Lolcow of their own. Basically a guy who pretends like he's this undefeated boxer, gets his ass handed to him every single time, much like Cyraxx, but probably a little less predatory from what I understand. I know a little bit about Charlie Z, but not enough to really give a real opinion on him outside of, clearly he's just a weirdo. But I think a lot of that's just character. I think a lot of that's just playing up to whatever he's made online here. I'm just not sure how any of this is relevant to Cyraxx and the bullying Cyraxx takes on, but this guy's gonna try to defend Cyraxx a little bit. I honestly forgot how many idiots come on and actually defend Cyraxx on Marty's panels, but don't worry, Marty's gonna chew him up and spit him out. Trying to act like I'm not really understanding the argument Homeboy is making here though. On any real legitimate level here, it's so why does Charlie Z deserve it, but Cyraxx doesn't? And the most that I hear is, oh well, Cyraxx is clearly special. Well, so is Charlie Z. Anybody who acts this way, throws it on the internet for everybody to digest, and is being, unironic about it, clearly has something going on with. So the argument truly can go both ways, and we're just kind of spinning in circles here. Both of these people deserve to be made fun of, and I think that's really where this ends.
Right, because he got catfished, and because he's on some.
Yeah, that very well could be the case, but nevertheless, to engage in this depraved behavior is pretty disturbing. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I don't, bro. If me or you sent somebody a picture of they asshole, bro, I would look at you and kind of say, "Dog, what you doing?" But
oh shit, people will. I got people. Here, 1 second. I got to link this. I guess people are questioning the veracity, and you can see it for yourself. I mean, I don't know if you feel. Maybe the argument could be made that it's not even Cyraxx.
Oh, no, I don't. I mean, even if it is Cyraxx, and bro, what happened last time where I talked to you and then you put people up on here who tried to say that I'm wrong. If there's people in the background who want to argue with me, bro, let them up.
Oh, no, listen, I would love to argue with you. You're saying that Charlie Zelnoff is deserving of, I don't know, shenanigans and tomfoolery, but Cyraxx isn't. No, why do you say that?
I'm not saying Charlie is deserving of it, but when he
definitely engaged in a long lengthy campaign of trolling him. So What makes Charlie deserve it and Cyraxx not deserve it?
So I say this, and it's hard for me really to debate what I'm going to say because of what I will say. The things that I have quote unquote done to Charlie has become their own like anonymity, to where if somebody does something to Charlie, it gets followed or it gets put under the Stanley did it context.
Okay, so essentially you're a victim of people using your name of when you used to troll them. I feel so sorry for you.
Well, no, I'm not saying feel sorry for me or nothing like that.
Get back to the question at hand. What makes Charlie Zolnoff deserving of trolling, but Cyraxx not?
Oh, bro, you can clearly see, like I've said before, it is a clear difference between Charlie and Cyraxx, bro. Name me the last time Charlie sent a picture of his asshole to somebody.
Well, Charlie did engage in sexual relations with a transgendered person, filmed unbeknownst to them.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
What was that person's name?
Camila might be the last transgender person.
Well, yeah, but
that he was with.
He audio recorded his sex with a transsexual prostitute, right, unbeknownst to them. So I'm just saying that it seems like both of them have their own transgendered fixations.
So again, I really don't understand what we're arguing here, so we're gonna cut this here and move on to another deviant moment of Cyraxx lore. Cyraxx, as we know, clearly doesn't know how to keep his willy to himself and keep his sticky fingers away from others. Next, we're gonna go over one of the many times he was caught by Kate from Masshole Mafia. All those fake, totally not real things that he got caught up in.
Hey Marty, this is pretty awful.
Yeah, it's as dark of a day in the Cyraxx arc as I've ever seen. And people are going to say that, I was, I directed this, whatever. I mean, no, I would say this happened organically, by, you were the 14-year-old girl. Or you at least know who the person was. I don't want to.
No, it was me. It was me, Cyraxx. Hi.
Okay, yeah, okay. What a fucking strike, he deserves everything and more, this is just, it's monstrous. Let me get a picture of this girl up here. 1 second. Now he's saying that, because this is like news to me, that he thought it was an actual kid, and so he was convinced that it was a kid.
No, yeah. So what I did was I actually borrowed some pictures from one of those predator poacher discords, right, where they do have the decoy pictures. So I mean, the girl looks quite. I don't know if you should actually put her picture up online, but she looks quite young. She's very clearly about 14 or 15 years old. And he asked for pictures. I sent them. And then had a phone call. Obviously, I feel like I sound like an old ass woman, so I had my friend speak to him, and he asked her specifically, and we do have a recording of this, which we can turn over to the police, Cyraxx, if you want to fuck around and lie. He said, when do you graduate? She said, well, 3 years from now, I'm a freshman. And he said, oh, damn. And then goes on to talk about how his high school experience was. He then hung up. He started texting back. He sent a jerk off video and immediately said, don't show anyone this. And then I reiterated, I'm only 14. I turned 15 in a few months. And he proceeded to continue to send dick pics and ask me for pictures, which came off Google, so they're not actual child pictures, but he didn't know that.
Like I said in the beginning, I felt it was very imperative to make this video. I feel like people constantly forget what we're here for and why we are here. Cyraxx is just a bad guy. It doesn't matter how many times he wants to say it was a sting, it wasn't a real 14-year-old, etc., etc. Intent is a thing, and the intent was there. If this was an actual 14-year-old, Cyraxx would have done the exact same thing, and that's very clear and apparent here. So anybody who wants to defend that clearly defends and agrees with PDFs. It's that simple. It really is. There is no gray area. There is no in between. This guy sends his wiener to 14-year-olds or people he thinks are 14-year-old. And those are the exact same things. It doesn't suddenly change because somebody's luring him in to prove that he's a bad guy. It doesn't. It really doesn't.
So he was going along with all this. The reason be, what are you accomplishing by that, Cyraxx?
No, his last message, he wasn't going along with anything. His last message, once he got a full-on bad shot, I think, the reality of the situation kind of sunk in and he realized that this is something that he could go to jail for. He's like, I made a mistake and so did you, which is a fucked up thing to say if you get nudes from a kid, right?
I mean, that's a fucked up thing even to say to an adult, what I would think, Well, I just
made it, you have a young impressionable teenage girl.
Right.
And she sends you nudes, and then you're like, you fucked up. Like, no, I don't feel like it's the kid that fucked up in that scenario, but okay, Cyraxx. And then he immediately blocked the number. I have in text where he thought that I was my own older brother admitting that it happened and swearing it would never happen again. Like, yeah, he is sexually attracted to teenage girls, young teenage girls, just really practically out of middle school teenage girls.
Reading through here, and I'm trying to like clip out. Oh my God, I'm looking at the time. So right after you say like, I feel ugly and worthless, I don't know where to turn, then bam, penis picture? Or is that a different?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you want, what I can do is I can, I don't think I can share my screen from my phone, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got
Sorry,
it.
I had to go to my car.
I got it here.
Yeah.
Let me organize it here. Promise me you won't show anyone. I think Kate played it brilliantly by saying, of course I won't. Revenge porn is illegal. Wow, your dick is big. By the way, I'll be 15 in May. I'm not too young at all. It's all yours. I'm a virgin, but all my friends are losing theirs. Your turn, cutie. Your turn, cutie. To lose her virginity. It's as bad as it gets.
Gotta agree with Kate and Marty here. Definitely an effed up thing to do to anybody underage and even an adult. It's like, hey, you elicited this action and then now you're saying, hey, we both made a mistake. The gaslighting truly is at an all-time high, especially when Cyraxx realizes he messed up and he's gonna get in some serious doo-doo. But again, we know that Ohio does seem to like their PDFs. It's an anti-sting state, so, you know, Ohio doesn't see it as a problem apparently, which I seem to think the rest of America should look at Ohio with some very squinted eyes. What's going on over there? In my opinion, it truly doesn't make any sense when people try to argue that, well, hey, he's mentally ill or he's deficient, etc. I know plenty of mentally ill people. I know plenty of people with learning disabilities, etc. And none of them are PDFs. None of them try to go after kids. Shoot, most of them are pretty normal and pretty awesome members of society who bring in a lot of jokes, who bring in a lot of personality and a lot of positivity to the workplace. Unlike somebody like Cyraxx, who has never worked a day in their life and does nothing but victimize others. Again, there's nothing to feel bad about when it comes to Chance Wilkins.
And this is why he's freaking out. This is why he is raising heck and acting a fool. You know, I had no idea that this would turn this direction. I guess like father, like son. Jesus is right. Jesus is right. Oh my, sickening. Losing your virginity is Cyraxx, a 14-year-old girl. You know, and let me show you like the context here. Oh, okay. Ooh, perfect. Yeah, I wanted to be able to present this like, I'm sorry, like Kate. I mean, obviously this is all like very last second. No excuse for his actions. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Here's where it starts. Cyraxx is the white. I'm not sure what this girl's name even was. She says that my mom is almost done with dinner. Can you call me after dinner? Okay, thank you. That makes it like so easy. Yeah, because I wanted everyone to see like how this all started. Yeah, did this girl have a name?
Crystal.
With
a K. Yeah.
Yeah. So he starts off obviously by calling because I think he's kind of distrustful. You know, he's been going through a lot of heck recently. Girl says that mom's almost done with dinner. Can you call me after dinner? You know, I think like off the bat it starts to imply that it's a child. You know.
Yeah, right off the bat, I'm saying that my mom's making dinner. I'm saying I got to do my homework. I'm talking about the kids at school bullying me. Like, there's not a lot of question there.
Well, I know some 30-year-old adults who whine about being bullied all the time. Just in Chance's defense, but no, I hear you. I definitely hear you.
It really only makes it worse in my eyes that Cyraxx has to try to vet these people and make sure they're actual teenagers before he starts sending his wing-wang to them. The goblin stick, if you will. And to be honest, that shows that there is even more intent behind this. He knows what he's doing, and he knows that it's wrong. So he wants to make sure that they actually are just a teenager so he can manipulate, gaslight, and take advantage of the situation and not get caught up in some more stuff with Kate, music business Bartholomew, or anyone else involved. And that really is the crux of this whole situation, guys. Chance does not deserve any sympathy.
Of age now, and you know, I really don't mind putting Chance's number out there any further. You can see this child here asking how ugly am I. You know, she's insecure, she's desperate for acceptance, and especially when you consider Chance's rock star status, he is in an elevated position, I would say.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You know, he's an internet sensation, and he used that to his advantage, I think. Here,
you're not. You are. You are. You know, I don't think you've been interacting with Cyraxx long enough. Like anyone who has knows that this is all of his typing. Like it's Cyraxx to a T. But you're not. You're beautiful. Oh, thank you. Okay, I have to do my homework. Yeah. So she's doing her homework after eating dinner. And you will make some guy very lucky. Cyraxx, you sick bastard. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. All right, yeah, and I'm gonna cycle through just because I want to give context. And just see what he's doing right now. I can't believe he's crying and playing the victim here. I'm so tired of the cyberbullying harassment. Way to appeal, his L's. Just, it's fine. It's fine. And I guess
this is funny. This is dark. This got really dark. I was upset earlier. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is this guy thinking?
No, I know. I guess it's kind of difficult to even look for what it is. It's just it's terrible. But the setup, I think, did require some ingenuity, and credit where it's due. It doesn't have anything to do with the disgusting byproduct. How did you get to become so awesome?
Truly, anytime you see Cyraxx acting like a victim online, playing the woe is me, my eyes are closed and I'm pretending to cry online type thing, it's because he did something like this. He put himself in a situation he knew he shouldn't have been in. He knew it was gonna happen, he knew it was gonna come back to bite him in the ass, but yet he does it anyway because he's impulsive. He's a sexual deviant. He's got a yank on his little stick 30 times a day. That's why it's constantly gotten infected. That's why he's had more UTIs than he has bed bugs in his room. And it's absolutely just disgusting. It never gets any better and it never will. This is gonna be Cyraxx's existence for the rest of his life. Let's jump into another occasion to where again Cyraxx is being caught being a weirdo.
I'm not a fucking pedophile. Look up the technical term, bitch. I would be considered a hemophile, which by all technical terms is not a fucking lie. By all technical terms, I would be a hemophile, which is not a crime. It's not illegal. Therefore, I would not be a pedophile. A pedophile is by proper noun and proper term. A pedophile is somebody that goes after a prepubescent child, meaning somebody who is 10 years of age or under. I am not that.
I know this is gonna sound weird coming from me because you guys know how much I can't stand Kate and I can't stand what Chuck's doing. So I'm gonna be frank with you. And I never in a million years that I thought I was gonna say these words that are about to come out of my mouth. And those words are this. I want to say thank you. You made me realize something. See, you doing all the stuff that you did to me and whatnot was messed up, not gonna lie. But doing the stuff that you've done to me recently and your little friends have done to me recently, I'm actually thanking you for, because you taking away all this stuff from me and me not being able to do this, that, and the other, like not being able to do my music, not being able to do my artwork, put it out in hell, not even being able to open up my own shop. For once, I'm saying thank you for all of that. I just Wilkins.
So of course we can keep going on and on and on, showing you multiple times where Cyraxx admits to being a PDF, some sort of offshoot of being a PDF, and it's all gross. Cyraxx, it doesn't matter if you're into 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, or 14-year-olds, it's all still gross and very much illegal. It should never even cross anybody's mind to say, hey look, I'm not that bad, I'm just into teenage girls, not younger ones. Come on, man. It's still just as bad and gross, and people are still gonna look at you the exact same way.
I know it sounds like I'm a bit scared, and that's because I am. Because I've never been in this situation before that I'm in. And unfortunately, guys, I have to leave for a while.
So that was a fucking lie.
I have to leave YouTube all day long. I've been getting troll messages, Massachusetts, all day long, right? Well, there was this person that was texting me. I thought that it was so I went along with it. Okay, I went along with this, thinking that it was just that, a fucking troll. I was fucking with their head. And it turns out that that person that was acting like a kid was actually a fucking kid. And it sickens me. And now because of these motherfucking trolls, I'm on the verge of going to jail over some shit that was a total misunderstanding. And to that dude who I thought was a troll, to that guy that I did think was a troll, I just want to say this, man. I do apologize for that shit. But you have to understand something. I've been being trolled all goddamn day. Every day. I honest to God thought that you and your sister were fucking trolls.
How coincidental, Cyraxx, that you thought it was a troll, so you were just trolling them back, but somehow it ended up actually being children you were sending your wing-wang to. You know, Cyraxx, there's only so many excuses you can make, and you can only lean on it being a mistake so many times. But unfortunately, in this case, you're dead to rights. You even admitted it yourself. Feels bad. As you've seen in this video alone, there has been a plethora of times where Cyraxx has claimed that he is indeed doing these things. But then he'll turn around once he realizes what he's done and pretend like he never said that. Scream, hoot and holler, attack everybody he can, just to try to distract you from what actually is going on here. Cyraxx is a predator predator. He's been preying after people for quite some time, and it doesn't matter if it's an adult woman, an adult male, or an underage one. He's gonna find a way to make it okay for him doing and saying absolutely terrible things to them.
When your sister called, yes, I went along with it because I thought you were fucking trolling, dude. I thought that was an actual fucking troll. I thought that y'all had set me up with somebody that was overage, pretending to be a kid and this and that, being, you know, doing troll shit. I didn't think that I was actually an underage kid, and I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm sorry that fucking happened. But god damn it, you fucking trolls need to quit. You fucking trolls need to leave me the fuck alone. You fucking trolls need to quit.
Say it ain't so, Chancey. You not only just admitted like for the 5th time in a row in this video that you did indeed mess with some underage people, but now you're trying to give a reason as to why it's okay. Look, it's as simple as this, Cyraxx. It doesn't matter what the intent was. It doesn't matter if you were just trolling or messing with people. You still did it, dude. You still did it. It doesn't matter if you didn't actually think they were what they were. You still did it. It's not like you just said some messed up things. No, you sent your goblin stick. You sent pictures of yourself. It's not the same thing, Chance. No matter how many ways we split this hair, it is always going to end in the exact same situation. That you're just a weirdo, dude. You do weirdo things, and you think that it's okay because you happen to look a little weird. And that's just not the case.
Do I need to get this out on your ass, big boy?
Your grandmother's calling you.
Shut up, nigga.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Trying to get Marty shut down. That's the only way I can. No, I'm trying to get him. No, Mom, this is my rig we're talking about. It's the only way to get him.
Matthew, I'm not stopping.
Yeah, you are, because they
No, I'm
can't.
not.
Yes, Mom, you are.
No, I'm not. No.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to get Marty shut down so he can't get the money.
That's how we get shut down.
Alright, fine. I'll fucking stop then.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a success do you think this was?
Hey, Marty. Hey, Marty, don't make me get the whip out on you, boy.
Cyraxx is nearly a 35-year-old man living with his grandparents, having them guide his entire existence. He gets yelled at every second for not cleaning up. He gets yelled at for whipping his dick out on stream. He gets yelled at for literally existing, because Cyraxx is the epitome of what a man-child is. Somebody who never grew past their teenage years. Somebody who has no skills, no hobbies, nothing that anybody cares about. No redeemable qualities. Absolutely no discernible understanding of life. And that is just who Cyraxx is. Cyraxx is a predator. He's a guy that will beat women. He'll choke at his grandma if he has to. He is absolutely a roach, and he'll never be anything better. Rest in peace, musical business Martin. Shout out M-Word Boy. Shout out William Gloryhole. And shout out everybody else that causes Chance Wilkins pain. Thanks for listening to this video. Thanks for checking it out. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Throw down your comments down below, and I'll see you all soon with another episode.